trying to make a way, hit the bank so ends can meet. Feed my family, if you don't grind, you weak. That was me about a year ago, scared to be.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Tokens Podcast. I'm your host, Hero, and with me always, Stevie G.
What up, y'all?
We've got a very special show for you guys today. Very special guest for you guys today. Welcome, CAROLYN, to the show. How are you?
Welcome.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Today we're going to take a stab at veganism and thrifting, fashion and style, none of which I am good at, unfortunately. Steve, what about
I know
you?
a little bit about thrifting, I would say.
Yeah?
I know about 2 thrifting spots. That's about it. And I visit them a lot.
How would you rate your fashion game?
I'd rate my fashion game.
Yours, personally.
Maybe like a solid
out of a scale of 10.
6.7.
6.7.
That's
And
very precise.
I mean, like, I just feel like it could be better. You know what I mean? I feel like I kind of just throw things on. I tend to look good in it, but I never tend to actually think about what I'm putting on.
How would you rate his fashion game right now?
I would say definitely 7 or 8. You're being
7
too
or
hard
8?
on yourself.
Hey.
Oh, man, thank you. I am my worst critic, I guess.
Fair enough. I think I could do pretty decent with fashion. I think I do all right with it. Definitely not the thrifting part, though. I'm more of a brands person, which kind of is
see, I'm definitely not a brand person.
it's probably
They're
like the
not
most
mutually
evil
exclusive.
thing in your world, right?
They're not mutually exclusive. I love brands
Okay.
and I love to thrift.
Okay.
I actually, one of my biggest parts of thrifting is finding the brands and the names and the designers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing like looking good, feeling good, and knowing that you paid like nothing for that Chanel or that Gucci,
Right.
which I have found multiple times at DC thrift stores across the area.
Well, you look really good right now. I like to say this is a good outfit going on.
All
Yeah,
thrift,
it's fantastic.
all vintage, baby.
Well, we're going to get into that here shortly. The first thing that I actually want to get into today, and first off, for everyone here, our guest, like I said, is CAROLYN. She is from DC. She's a thrifting fashionista, and vegan lifestyle blogger with followings for both, like really good followings too. And you can catch her on Instagram at petite_punk and at DC Vegan Life, respectively. The first thing I actually want to talk about is I want to get into like the veganism. That was something that I've kind of been very hesitant about. I've got some friends that do like pescatarianism or veganism or vegetarianism and all that. So I definitely want to get into some of that. Steve, have you ever thought about being a vegan before?
I've thought about being a vegetarian. I've
being a
never thought
vegetarian?
about going as far as being vegan.
You couldn't
I'm not
cut out like
entirely
eggs
sure.
and stuff like that.
I mean, I feel like
Right.
it's so necessary for me because I have such a high metabolism that if I don't have that particular source of protein, I'd turn into a skeleton. Like, I don't know. Like,
Do I look like a skeleton?
No,
No,
but
no,
you
no.
actually. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you actually have more of a thickness on you than I do. Like, I feel like I'm like.
And he
Like,
says
you look
thickness in a
good,
good
like-
way.
Oh,
He
yeah,
said
yeah,
I
it in
did
a
not
good
take
way.
any.
No,
words
like,
all
you know what I mean? Like, if I was to
It's
show you me, I
compliment.
feel like you could just see my spinal cord. You know what I mean? Like, that's how skinny I feel. But that's why I feel like I need the meat. I need, like, all the extra eggs all the time.
Right.
But I'm told I don't have to get protein and the things that I need from these things. But I don't know how my body would react to it.
Well, and speaking of veganism, tea is vegan, and we got some hemp kettle tea going on right now.
Cheers.
It is our black pepper chai. It's really good. If you guys want to get in on some of this, feel free to go over to our girl at goldenpineappledc.com. Check her out. She's got some good stuff on there.
The black pepper chai is definitely my favorite too.
Black pepper chai is
So
good.
spicy.
Like,
This is better
I
than
love
the
the spice.
I
right?
do too. It clears your
Woo,
throat.
it clears
your
everything out.
mind.
Whatever we had the last time was good, but this is way better.
I think she gave us 2 different kind of teas last time. Didn't she give us a black pepper and another one?
I can't
She
remember,
gave us,
honestly.
She gave it to us to take home. That's
I
what
was,
it was.
yeah,
I wasn't
we had a
there.
different one. Yeah.
What they said.
I was very very loose by the end of that one. But jumping right in to anyone that doesn't know on the show, if you don't, you're probably living in a hole because we've definitely come across it at some point in your life. If you live in any city, or I'm pretty sure that the even the non-cities are doing this now. It's a very popular trend. Seeing a lot more of it in magazines. I'd say it is beyond a trend. It's definitely a lifestyle. But veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable, I guess, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animal for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. Tell me about veganism to you, Carolyn.
Right, and I love how you said to me, because veganism is different for everybody.
Sure.
There are different styles, different ways of being vegan. Mm-hmm. I have some friends in the community who live a very strict, not that's a bad thing, a very strict vegan regimented lifestyle where they don't consume any animal products whatsoever. They, even if the label says processed in a facility with dairy or other things, they will not eat that. They will not wear any animal products, anything with animals in it, makeup, skincare stuff. They also will not eat, any honey and, nothing insect related. So they try and strive to be as pure as possible, which is awesome. Then I have some friends who just are vegan. That's how they strive to be. They don't eat meat. They don't eat dairy products. Some don't eat honey, but if something slips, it's okay because it's all about being the best vegan that you can be and what it means to you. And so veganism for me is about, of course, cruelty-free, no animal exploitation. I also really value the health aspect and just eating cleaner and knowing what's going into my body, eating a more plant-based and vegetable and fruit-heavy diet. But my type of veganism is also pretty lax. If something slips into something I eat or if there's like a dose of honey, I won't get all freaked out too immediately. I'll be bothered, but it won't be like, oh my gosh. And if I have friends who sometimes slip, I will also not look down on them or just they're vegan the way that they want to be vegan. And who are we to judge the way that people truly eat? Because in my opinion, food and eating is closely tied to who you are in your culture. It's how you were brought up. So if I want all people to be vegan. I think it's the right way for me to eat, but some people it's like you just can't. I want to force people, but sometimes you can't, and you don't want to offend, and I don't want to offend anybody with how I eat around others. So, vegan to me is a lifestyle, but it's also quite. I live an open-minded way of eating.
So you'd say you're like strict, but like if something messes up every now and then, you don't like kick yourself too hard for it.
Like my body might be like, yo, Carolyn, why did you eat that? I feel like so terrible. But I won't think about it for days.
That was
it just
happens. Be a question of mine. If something does slip into that diet that's not particularly vegan or within the realms of something you should be eating, does it make you feel sick or anything? Does it physically?
Sometimes, yes. Dairy products, if something is like, if say I was eating vegan ice cream and somebody accidentally gave me real ice cream and I took a bite, my stomach would go nuts.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be like lactose
I think I
intolerance.
drank like half a gallon of milk this morning.
How do you do that? Oh my god.
It tastes so good.
I can't even drink half a gallon of anything at one time.
It tastes so
Oh my
good.
gosh. But yeah, it doesn't, like, if there's bread, it won't make me sick. But say if I were to eat a piece of meat, which I haven't in like 10 years, I would think that would make my stomach feel
So there was a
bad.
point that you weren't vegan.
Yes, a long time. Well, yeah. So I was vegetarian since college. When I started school, I decided to become vegetarian, and so that was 2009. 2009. So I've been vegetarian since then, so almost 10 years. And then over a year ago, for my friend's birthday, I said, hey, I'll be vegan for a week. Like, let's try it out. Let's do it up. It's your birthday. I care about this cause. Like, let's try it. And then it just kept going. It just kept happening. It was easy. And probably also because I was a vegetarian for so long. But it was just, there are so many alternatives to cheese, like nut cheeses, alternatives to ice cream, and just people.
Nut cheese?
Yeah, I mean like cashews or like
I don't
tree
think I've
nuts.
ever heard of that.
Yo, it's so good.
Really?
Yeah, I can fool you. I'll fool you with
I'm
my
actually
cheese.
like intrigued.
I should have brought food to taste next time.
Right,
cheese.
next time. Right. I'm definitely interested. So that is curious. That actually leads me into my next question, which was like, what first made you want to be vegan? Was it specifically your friend's birthday? Or was it just like that was the day that you were like, fuck it, like, let's do this? Like,
so in the high school when I was younger, I grew up in the punk community. And it was in the punk community. There's a lot of things tied with DIY ethics, cruelty-free lifestyle. So when I was younger, I was introduced to veganism very early, and like some of the plant-based cheeses and whatnot. So it wasn't foreign to me when I became vegan. So I was familiar with how one could be vegan in DC. But for her birthday, she'd always been encouraging me to become vegan, and there was just not a right time for me. I would always just say like, I just loved cheese too much. Like
cheese is the shit.
I was like, I can't give it up. Like I just can't give up that mac and cheese.
Right.
It's so good. And then for her birthday was a reason for me to try it. I was like, let's do it for you. You're one of my best friends.
Now, how long at this point was she doing it before? Was she living this lifestyle?
Quite a while, 3-4 years.
Really? Nice.
And this was, or even longer than that. She's a big proponent in the vegan community, not just DC, but the whole country. She's served on boards for animal rights groups and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
So she was very vocal about, if you're like, you do vegan, I'm like, it means so much to me. I was like, okay. It's easy. It's easy to try it for a week. And then, like, I bought all the groceries and whatnot. Like, I was like, I'm going to get, like, all the fake deli meats, fake hot dogs, like, do it up. Like, let's try it out. And then, so it extended past a week because I need to use up all that food.
Sure.
And then it just tasted good. And, like, I was just like, why not? I thought, like, I can eat stuff that doesn't have animal products in it. Like, I don't have to eat cheese. There are alternatives for me that taste good.
Yeah.
So.
Like the nut cheese.
Nut cheese.
Yeah. I mean, some people...
Tell me a little bit more about that nut cheese.
Please.
Like,
I'm like, yo, what?
So how do they do, like, what's the process? What is this?
So, with my vegan Instagram, I eat out a lot. So I don't cook. I don't know how they make it.
That's at DC Vegan Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is very interesting, by the way. Definitely check that out, guys.
Thank you. It is a taste in Instagram. When I'm hungry, I can't look at it. Like, no, just keep it away.
No, I think we went out to dinner because we were looking at it and we were like, yo, I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's time to, like, go get something to eat.
It was
good. All that stuff. So I'm a big big advocate for DC vegan businesses. So on that account, I just try and post strictly DC stuff. But so I go out to eat quite a bit, or I buy pre-made food, which is not the way to be vegan. Learn to cook for yourself. I just do so many things. I feel like I'm always doing music or art stuff, so I don't have the time. But I think they soak nuts. You soak a cashew, and then you, like, puree it, and then, like, add, like, spices, and then, like, refrigerate it. I think that's a process.
You lost me at soaking the nuts.
I know.
It's pretty much
It takes
just
a
like
long
what?
time.
Like how they make almond milk.
Yeah,
I mean,
kind of how they
just-
make
yeah.
almond milk.
But I guess you're making almond milk and then into cheese.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Almond milk
something
cheese.
happens with science.
Something happens.
Right.
I don't know.
A chemical reaction happens.
Well, and so you said that, like, that first week you, like, went out and bought a whole bunch of groceries. Like, talk to me about some common myths. One of the things that I came across, which is obviously being vegan is super expensive. That's, like, the first thing that everyone says, besides, like, I fucking love bacon and I love cheese. Like, the next thing that everybody says is, well, it's really fucking expensive. So, like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
vegetables, when not frozen and when not in a can, can be more expensive because while it's cheap in the moment, like, you buy, like, an apple for less than $1, it can go bad quickly. As opposed to something frozen. You know, it can last. That's worth more because it can last for a long period of time. So, like, buying fruits and vegetables, I would say it's not expensive if you're good with cooking and, like, know how to prepare and are good with, like, okay, that apple's going to go bad soon, I better eat that now. Some of the foods that are made vegan, like vegan sausages and meats, I've seen can be more expensive, but sometimes they also they last longer, too. Like, I know meat can go bad quite quickly if not in the right conditions
right,
and temperatures. But
Like
if
you pretty much got like a week on meat, and then
Okay.
like you're it's kind of shot after that. Like maybe bacon can last longer, but that's also been like cured.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Totally. So if I were to buy fake deli meat, that might last for a month or 2
What?
months. And like if you don't open it either, it will last a
Really?
long time.
Wow.
So there's less food waste if you don't.
How much does fake deli meat go for?
Depending like $2.99 to $4.99 for like a package of it.
That's
Oh.
cheaper than fucking regular
Yeah.
meat.
And it
Pretty
depends
much.
on the store.
Right.
I would say also the myth might have come to be when there weren't as many vegan products available in the city and area. So when there were vegan only products, vegan cheese, vegan meats, it was more expensive because it was harder to find. But now you can find fake meats, or not fake, just like plant-based meats and sausages at places like Safeway, Giant, Whole Foods, everywhere.
Do you find yourself eating more of the product of whatever you're eating? Because I feel like whenever I've tried to eat like a salad or a vegan style of a dish, like I want to eat another one or 2 or 3 of them because I haven't gotten my fill.
Sure.
Is that a mental thing, or-
I think if you're eating a salad for a meal without any proteins or like beans or hummus or guacamole in it, that's not enough calories. To
You
be
need
a meal.
complex carbs,
Yeah.
like something that your body can break down. Like
Exactly.
grass isn't gonna do it. Like
Exactly. Like there's no calories in it. You're not
Right.
gonna have the energy. You're gonna be hungry later.
right.
If you eat like a lot of fruit, you'll just like go to the bathroom
Right.
later and be like, oh, what's next? Meal number 3. Sorry, it's
Oh my
only 9
God.
a.m.
That was funny.
Oh, I love your humor. I do. I love your humor so much. It's like it hits me right in the heart.
I appreciate that. But yes, sometimes when I eat, I'm not as full quickly. But it's because of the meal. To your point, there's not enough variety of the ingredients. Like it's too much, too heavy and liquid, or too many greens. Like to me, most salads that are given to me vegan at like a regular restaurant or like TJ Fridays, they're like, oh, let's veganize this salad for you. And it's not a meal. It's like iceberg lettuce,
Right.
like
Sure.
chopped up
Yeah.
like little
It's
tomatoes.
like water. You're
Yeah,
getting
like,
water
you give
on a
this to me,
plate.
I'm gonna be hungry in like 2 minutes.
Right.
I'll be
Right.
full for the moment. My stomach will be expanded, but it's not like filling. It's not
Right.
satiating, not satisfying. So sometimes I'll find that if I eat a big ass bowl of vegetables, I'll be full. But sometimes, depending on, I'll still be hungry.
Right.
I mean, but if I'm also gorging sweets, you're never satisfied. You just eat sweets like none other.
And this is perfect. You're like just leading right into like more questions that I have for you. Which is the next
I'm
thing.
here to
Like I
answer.
love it. Like, so you say that like when you're eating, you have a hard time like eating out and stuff like that. Like, how has it affected your life? Like personally, socially, like because you've been vegan for what, about a year and some change now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Correct.
So like, this is actually like a good time for you to be able to explain like coming from not being a vegan, now you are. Like, what personally, like, has it affected like friends, work, like?
And can I add on to the end of this question, because it's very similar? Should the places you visit keep in mind that they have vegan customers coming in, and should they cater to you, like, up front?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So going from vegetarian to vegan, it has been harder. People think it's harder for me to eat out with them sometimes because they have to think, oh, is there going to be a vegan option there for you? Like, I don't want to go somewhere where you can't eat anything. Or
So your friends will like, at least actively think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Which that's cool.
it is awesome. And my parents do that too. But sometimes it feels like a burden. Like they act sometimes, at least.
Are your parents vegetarian?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They're just, they love all the food.
All the food.
All the food. So, but they've gotten more and more open-minded to it. But, like, going out to eat with some certain folks, it's like a burden for them to find somewhere, like, oh, we gotta find somewhere for you to eat. Can you eat this? Can you eat this? I'm like, I can eat any, like, if there's a salad, I'll eat it if I have to, and I'll enjoy
So you're
it.
the type of person that you're like, I'll go where you guys want to go and I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Exactly,
Like-
exactly. There are some occasions, like, for, like, a work dinner with clients, I don't want the client to think, or like
That was another question.
Yeah.
Is like work related.
Yeah. So like I don't want at like a work dinner. I don't want to be that person to be like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. It's okay, but I don't want the situation to have my attention on me because I have a complex order.
Sure.
So sometimes for say a client dinner, I will call the restaurant ahead of time and see what options they have and work with them in putting together a dish for me. So I'm not trying to solve a Rubik's Cube when I'm at the restaurant.
Right, and then which
cool.
again like takes the attention off of like you trying to do business.
Exactly. Yeah. And then usually my order also looks amazing. They're like, "What'd you order?" I'm like, "Oh, I had them whip this up for me." Like,
right.
Cauliflower steak is awesome.
I know the chef.
Oh yeah, and it's great in those situations too because I get to talk with the restaurant about vegan options, which makes them more encouraged. Like, oh, we have the ingredients, it's just fabricated in a different way. But eating out with friends is pretty good. DC is very, very vegan friendly.
Yeah, it is.
H Street is becoming a hub for all things vegan in DC, which is excellent. But there are some cities where it's not like that.
H
Street.
H Street.
Yeah.
As far as northeast or
H Street where they held the fest.
Oh, the H Street. Oh, that
exactly.
area. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
that corridor is just popping. Like so many vegan restaurants.
Yeah, not vegan at all, but you should definitely check out the Ben's Chili Bowl over there.
They have vegan
really?
burgers and hot dogs
Do
there.
they?
Nice.
Well, they have vegan chili too, which is but it's fucking huge. It's
Oh
massive.
yeah, that one's like 2 stories.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you ever been to New Vegan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I've only known that spot because
He just knows the
Beyonce went
name.
there.
Like,
Oh yeah. That place is
Beyonce
dope.
went. No,
That
it is
place-
dope. They
that
have a lot of
place-
stuff.
You will not. You go in there and you're like, "This is vegan."
Right.
Like what?
Exactly. I had
And
the
I'm like,
Postmates.
"Yeah." How? And it tastes the same as something else.
So wait, like, okay, so when you this is gonna sound stupid. I know this is a dumbass question, but like
No,
you say
stupid
you don't
questions.
eat mollusks, right?
I'm not eating.
So you don't eat like oysters or any of that, like.
Am I really missing out though? I have so many other options
so
of food I
good.
can eat. But like, there are other good things that are vegan. I can eat pizza. People say to me when I say I love pizza and mac and cheese, they say that's not vegan. I'm like, well, I there are fake cheeses.
False, but you can do but you
them.
can do like a pizza with like basil and
Yeah,
or I'm
or
sorry,
vegan
or like
cheese.
pesto. You can do like a
Yeah.
pesto sauce on
The
it.
definition of pizza, it doesn't say like if you read the definition of pizza in the dictionary. Would it say like dairy based cheese and tomato sauce and
Be like
crust with butter on it?
American man makes Italian like.
Like pizza for me, the concept of pizza. If I say I love mac and cheese, I love the concept of it. I like my noodles drenched in some sort of creamy, tangy ingredient.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. You're
Okay,
like,
I see what you're saying. So you're going more into like the construct of the food item rather than like what it's made out of.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're saying like I want something creamy and delicious. It doesn't have to be cheese.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So it's like people get sometimes caught up in the semantics, but I'm just like, I like. Well, I always say fake chicken tenders. If I say I'm not going to say I like chicken tenders, I like fake chicken tenders. But like like pizza or ice cream, like ice cream has dairy. I'm like, not all ice cream has dairy.
No, it doesn't. But the best kind does.
No, that's not.
Yeah, the
That
coconut
is
milk
not
ice cream is the best, actually.
cashew milk ice cream.
Actually,
is so
Coconut milk
creamy.
ice cream is.
I gotta be honest. I like the Italian ice the best. It's
It is
like,
pretty
I
good.
actually
so
really
good.
don't like it.
And it's vegan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Unless they
sugar
put
and water.
animal
Yeah.
lard in water.
This is
Unless
Kool-Aid
they
water.
Well,
bacon
animal sweat.
flavored. No.
What if
no,
it's
no,
made
no.
from
Oh,
seawater?
man.
Then like that's a no, right? Because like
Well, but then that goes into when you go in the ocean. So
vegans
go
can't
to the
go
beach.
into the ocean, right?
Vegans go to the beach.
They shouldn't.
But there are
I'm
no
just kidding.
animals being harmed in the ocean unless they're like hurting each other. Or there's
So,
a cadets.
If you don't mind, I have a question on that specifically. In a perfect world, if the animal cruelty wasn't what it is, would you still be vegan?
Yeah, I would. I think I would.
Because like I think
Would
that, like,
not just you, but do you think would the lifestyle be what it is right now, if that wasn't a factor?
oh, there would totally still be people. I think. Oh, sorry, I should let you.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's good. It's a dialogue. The thing is, animals aren't consenting either way. Like even if they're treated
Right, but gazelle doesn't be consent to be fucking hunted down by a lion either, but that motherfucker eats it.
Right?
I mean, is that not our? Do you think it's a part of our nature?
I just don't think
in
we
some
need.
way?
No, I think like when I think about it like this sometimes. Like a cow, the being of a cow.
Mm-hmm.
A cow mostly. I don't know all the details about cow diets, but I know that it's plant based. I know that like all they eat is grass and like things out in the field.
They eat hay mostly.
Yeah, but it's that they're not eating like little rats on the ground all the time.
No.
And that leads into another question.
But they're vegetarian.
And like,
or I'm sorry, they're herbivores. I guess what you would call them in the animal kingdom.
The cow is a body that is very muscular. It's a hardy animal. It's a big animal.
If it's been raised right, yes.
Well, yeah. You get all that, all those constants.
Lots of grass, though.
So
like
you need a lot of land for.
But like
cattle.
they're not eating like they're like eggs as they're like grazing around to get muscle mass. They're just eating a lot of greens.
No, but that's also like they also eat like pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of greens, and that's all they do all day long.
What's the difference between a cow and a lion, and as far as what they're eating?
Well, I think so.
Could a lion do the same thing?
They could eat grass.
No,
but
they would be skinny and they wouldn't be a lion.
Well, there's a difference of environment. It's a difference of how you get your source of energy and protein, and your source, because you can get protein from plants, but that's why a cow has 7 stomachs. But I can also because it has to eat. It has to eat enough to fill up 7 stomachs in order to like give it what it needs. Right. A lion only has 1 stomach, so it it only eats like once every couple of days or once every day or so, every other day. Like it doesn't really need to eat all the fucking time. Like they eat like one big ass meal and then it's good for like a day, and then it'll like eat again.
Even so, like, is that animal cruelty or is that nature?
Well, I think. Well, that's actually a really good question.
Is it not nature that we do it?
It is an excellent question. Well, that's
I agree with
cow. Like, say, like a tiger or whatever animals you said that were battling each other. Well, that's more like if a human just, like, goes up and, like, hurts another human, like, out of... Well, if they're doing it because they're eating. So it's like, that's nature as in because the lion isn't going up and being like, I need to hurt you, and then, like, doing it...
Would you think it was wrong if the lion domesticated the gazelle, and then it just like went out? Yeah, right. It went out and like picked one up off the shelf one morning. It was like, What would you say was your first like dope ass outfit that you put together?
I don't know if I can tell you my dope ass outfit because all the outfits I wear are.
I mean, obviously, yeah. They're all fantastic. Yes. But like, what was that first like outfit that you put together that you were like, holy shit, I'm good at this?
Probably when I put on my punk jacket. No, it's like I was just like I look badass, but I don't know if I'm good at this. I think it's less of the outfit that I wore and more of the item that I found at the thrift store or the yard sale. So, outfit, I just feel like I always look cool. Even neon fishnets in middle school.
I love it.
Why are you wearing that?
Fishnets in middle school. Your parents let you get away with a lot.
I wear under jeans. I had a hole in my jeans like that, and then be like neon fishnets popping out. People like, whoa, didn't expect that. I'm like, yeah, these are uncomfortable, but I look cool.
That's still like, I know if I was a teen, that would have like had me on some like sexually charged shit. Oh my god. Because like as a fucking like middle schooler, like seeing the fishnets, like
even if
period,
they were hot pink.
It doesn't matter what color
like
they are.
Zebra printed fishnets.
It didn't matter what color they were.
Thick, like they were kind of like look like fleece instead of fishnet.
No 15-year-old kid sees like fishnets and like doesn't lose his shit. Like,
oh god, I didn't experience that whatsoever. My dating game was awful back then. I think I scared away all the boys because I had little studs on my jacket. And
Probably.
I was just weird.
You were too cool for them.
Did you have a mohawk too?
I had Liberty Spikes.
Oh, that's probably what it was. Yeah. It probably was the Liberty Spikes.
I know. That girl is hot. She's fire. Like, not in a good way. Like, stay away.
Yeah, we all went through awkward phases.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes, hopefully we've all grown out of that.
I did
Sometimes I'm not sure.
I did the skinny jean band t-shirt thing when I was in middle school.
I used to wear the jean chains.
Oh gosh.
Just like
the wallet chain?
No,
there was no wallet attached to the
wallet.
chain?
It was just
Just a chain.
There was this belt loop.
Well, if
did
somebody
some
comes
belt loop.
near, you can just like swivel quickly and it'll whip out.
Did you ever do
somebody's
the
leg.
suspenders?
I mean,
but like you,
I did that.
You didn't put them
I
on.
did all of
you,
it.
like they were draped on the sides.
I did.
Yes, yes.
And you're like, why the fuck do I even have these on?
Why are they on?
We have had a lot of those fashion faux pas.
Right. It's funny though because like they're all in now. Like
Everything's in.
Yeezy's like, I'm gonna wear this garbage ass Champion hoodie and some Adidas and a fucking some
Fresh
skinny
off the
jeans.
ground.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's literally everything that I
Yep.
wore in middle school.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Yep.
Everything.
So I always hated this. I don't know who did it, why it happened in fashion. Sandal? Okay, you might do it. I'm sorry
Sandals
in
and
advance.
socks.
Sandal, any type of sandal and any type of socks. How is that practical? Just wear a shoe if your foot's cold. The sock gets dirty.
Well, I feel like those Nike ones
So-
are made for the socks. though.
Yeah,
the
they're
one-
made
the
for-
one with the-
because
the
there's
one
now
strap?
demand.
No. There
was no
it,
demand.
it was whack until like you saw like the 80s and 90s when you saw it on television and stuff like that. But now, because you
Either
have
way.
seen it so much, there is a time and a place for that. Like if I was in Miami and I was about to like, it was like
Why don't you wear shoes?
11 a.m. and I wanted to grab lunch and I'm hungover from the night before and I want to wear like basketball shorts, then
But that
then
wasn't
some high top knee high socks
Socks.
Okay.
And
and
just
some
the slip-on
sandals are
sandals.
fucking appropriate
because
with
the
that.
feet are sometimes just too exposed.
Right,
But you don't
right.
want a whole shoe
Question.
on.
And sometimes you don't want to see my feet.
I never.
Right.
Okay, but how about this? The practicality of walking with the sandal and a sock on in the rain or in a puddle. Like,
Well,
what
you
if
wouldn't.
Why
do
would
that.
I be
You wouldn't
walking
do
in it in the
Like,
rain?
You wouldn't do that.
it could just start randomly or like puddles of water that are unexpected that you step in? Liquid on the ground, get on your sock,
Then you
stain
would
the
take
sock.
off your
I would
sock.
take off the
You
sock.
would take the sock off.
But why
I'd
wear
put the
this?
socks
Why
in my
need,
pockets.
Why need to waste that sock?
I would. They would be wasted. I put it in my pocket.
They get
If it
a
started
stain
raining,
on it.
I'd just-
Okay, I
oh,
was
you
walking.
gotta learn how to bleach your
See,
socks.
I feel maybe you haven't had good sock
To
care with
me,
the
I
sandals.
just don't
It is
understand.
necessary.
I just don't
No,
get
that's
the
your
combo.
fashion faux pas. You don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people don't like.
But a lot of people don't like that though.
No, that
a lot
is
of people
that is
don't
something.
like
A
that,
lot of
and I'm
shoes.
actually a sock sandal dude, and it's crazy how many people I've met.
Oh.
that
I
way.
bang
I
with
mean,
it.
I don't
wear
do
it
I don't do
often.
it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even
I
have.
get
He
it.
had them
Out
on
of-
the other day.
Out of
I
practicality.
didn't. I don't even have. What?
Would you intentionally though go in your closet and be like socks and slides today, like bam bam?
So-
Nah,
are
you don't
you-
think about it like
Are
that.
you upset
But
that I'm
see,
wearing socks and loafers?
You already have
Yes.
the socks on.
Because that's
That's-
a fashion faux pas. Most people don't like loafers and
That's
socks
true.
together.
I don't like seeing sweaty ankles like either, or like ankles in between that space. I don't know.
If I had sweatpants
Just-
on, then I feel like no socks would have been appropriate.
Yeah, that would have.
Right.
Yeah. Socks and sandals. Not into it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't get
it's
down.
not something that people think about.
But now that they're
Like-
manufacturing shoes to have the socks with it.
Oh, you're talking about the ones that
Like
are
you
just
said,
like
yeah.
it's just fabric in a sole.
Oh, I saw those.
Oh, those
don't
are the
understand.
Yeezys.
Those,
Are those Yeezys?
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
look like
oh my
swimming
gosh.
shoes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look like swimming shoes.
They're
I was
fucking
like,
terrible.
I'm
I
literally
think
wearing
like
a
a-
sock with a sole.
No,
I wouldn't do that.
A girl
I don't
did
think I
that.
could
Like
do that.
she was like there was like a do-it-yourself blogger. She like saw the Yeezy like sock heels. And so she just fucking made a pair out of like some socks and some
Oh.
heels. Like
But hers actually looked pretty cool.
hers looked great.
For being like
Yeah.
thrifted in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It was pretty good.
I mean,
What-
yeah, not into it.
What's your best outfit? Like, what in your opinion? What's your best outfit that you've ever done? Or are you gonna just say like all of them again?
I can think of outfits that I felt confident in, but not
Yes.
one like
What's
signature.
the one that you've like that you were like? You don't have like just that one that made you were like this.
I wasn't like, now I'm a superwoman. There were none like that because I've always was just like
That's
gradual.
the veganism.
All of the above. All of the above. My wallet is slim. Well, I'm not. Well, my body is. I'm like getting a little bit affected by that. So,
it happens.
Yeah.
So-
To us all.
Clusters.
so
Welcome to our world.
Right. Welcome to the podcast.
okay. I forgot what I was talking about. I was.
We were talking about your best outfit.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, I went to the DC Fashion Week International Runway show. It was on a Sunday, and I remember I had these like 2 items. One of them I had thrifted like the night before, it was just like a velvet skirt, and one was this vintage like petal like top where it looked like just black flower petals. And this was when I was just starting to work with DC Goodwill stores and just partnering with them and advocating and doing events. So it was a time where I was solidifying my style and making it more mature than it was before. Like before it was like, oh, that was a cool shirt, but I'll still wear those like worn weird shoes with it. So I was
I know.
You know that?
I know that.
You know that, like...
Steve just did an upgrade.
I just did an upgrade.
Like 2 weeks ago. He was like, I gotta get some grown man shit.
Yeah, so this is what happened. I was like, I gotta look right at this fashion event, but also look like a lady.
Right.
Like, look like the girl that I wanted to be, or the woman I wanted to be there. So, a thrifted skirt and this top. That was like this vintage petal, like I said. And I just remember looking at that outfit, and I thought, that girl's meant to be something in fashion. Not even if big, even if it's just local-wise, but, like, that is the outfit that shows that my sense of style is transcending time, like, my time. Like, I've always had funky style. At that moment, it just was me.
Right.
I was like, I'm the DCGF. Right. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And then that's when the lifestyle was born, petite punk.
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely a trendsetter, I think.
Yeah.
And
like, and you've amassed a decent following on Instagram because of it.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yep. Like I said, I specialize a lot in not just regular thrifting or just like H&M items, things that look cool. I am looking for vintage and designer as well.
Sure.
So my expertise is looking at all the brands and knowing who they are and all the ways of like what tags look like through different decades. So that's what I bring. For like $5, found that Chanel blazer. That's what I think draws all my followers. The combination of style, vintage, and really unique, or designer. Right. Or it might be all of the above.
So it's not just a hobby for you. It's an expression.
Exactly. It is a way of life. I had a really, really bad or just upsetting breakup. That night, I went to Goodwill and just shopped. And I bought this gold butterfly necklace, and I felt like it meant something.
Sure.
So, Goodwill has always been there for me, whether it's making myself feel like I look great, giving me confidence, or just being a space for me to unwind and, like, let it out. Just something that I can do that makes me feel good and is therapeutic.
Right.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Do you, like, would you ever style others?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I bring
Sounds
my
like
friends...
you've done it before.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say it as formally as style, but I bring friends along with me and shop. I'll help them shop and pick out special items for them to wear and try on. And usually they're like, oh, I would never wear that. Like, that won't look good on me. Like, you try it on. I'm like, no. Just, we're at the thrift store. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and you can just try it on. And so that's how I've done some personal shopping. But I've never just been on a trip with somebody where I follow them around and pick out items because I want to shop too.
Sure.
I can't be there like, this is for you, because I'll be like, but I want to try this on too. So
see, I actually really enjoy doing that. When we went shopping, obviously, like, I picked out a whole bunch of shit that I wanted to get.
Totally.
And then, like, afterwards, like, I was, like, fucking trying to help Steve out. Just 'cause
I
like
you've
doing
already
that,
done
though.
your thing, though.
Yeah, I had already done my thing. But I'm really quick, and I'm really decent at, like, picking. I know what I like now.
Totally.
So, like, I'm really good at, like, I'll see something, and I'll have, like, 3 things in my hand, and I'll see, like, one thing, and I'll, like, throw them down and, like, grab that.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Yeah, so I feel you. It's one of those things that it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I think I need to learn how to accessorize the stuff that I have, because
cool
I mean, no,
right
I
now?
mean, like, well, I just recently got new stuff.
Except for this, like,
I'm talking about,
now,
like,
and I know this means something to you, but the whole, like, 90, like, change.
Oh, no, I just,
like,
this is sentimental.
I know it's sentimental, yeah. Which is why I'm not going to give a shit about it. Like,
yeah.
Even though
I don't
like,
even wear that
it's
often.
totally a 90s bracelet, but,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. I bang with
Don't be
it.
mad you don't got one.
Right.
I know,
Or your
looking at my empty
bare
wrist,
ass
I'm
on.
like, where's mine?
I got bling today.
I just got a bracelet. And I like it because it's got a skull on
I
it.
lost mine. I had one
Pretty
like so.
punk.
I wanted this one, and I
That
saw
bracelet?
it on the shelf. Yes, this one that he's wearing.
I walked
and
past.
I
and
just
I
didn't
grabbed
pick it up
And I
you were
went
like,
to go
"Oh,
get it,
saw
like,
you."
on the way out.
No,
and it
I
was
didn't even
gone.
see that he
Really?
saw it.
Oh.
He's freaking buying it.
I
I'm
had
like,
already gotten it,
"Dog."
like, and he thought someone else
You
had bought
missed.
it.
Oh, man.
It was
I know.
me.
Where is it from?
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom Rack, yeah.
Yeah. Nordstrom Rack. Yeah, sorry. Not Nordstrom.
Mm.
Go to the Rack.
The Rack.
Oh, what? I didn't know they sold bracelets in that size.
I didn't know they
That
sold
big of a
bracelets either. This
They
was
got a
one of
lot of
those
stuff.
things that they had. I don't think they knew that they sold bracelets. I probably could have just put it in my pocket and walked out.
Or just put it on and wore it out.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, that guy's
like,
wristwear
"That's
is superb.
You
Where
got
did
a
he
great
get
bracelet.
it?"
I'd be like, "I know, thanks, man." At the checkout.
Oh my gosh.
What's your most expensive thrift outfit to date?
I don't know if I have an outfit.
But
But
what's the most
items.
expensive item? Yeah, or items.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'll tell
Give
you
us a
my
couple.
haul. A few of my hauls, my thrift hauls. So I went
I
to...
love it. My hauls.
I just envision what that looked like.
Well,
She
it
has
was
like a
amazing.
sack.
It
I
was,
was like,
it was honestly incredible. My car was filled to the brim. It was just... When you have a good day, you got to go all out. You
Right.
can't hold it in. You got to let the thrift queen shine. Just go for it. Anyways,
I want to go thrifting now.
there's
She makes
this
it sound-
I
time.
know.
It's
appealing.
make
it's
it sound like
fantastic. It's
An
fabulous.
event.
It is.
Like,
See,
it's
the
fun.
thrifting for me it's not just I'm going out shopping. I got to find X, Y, and Z things.
Right.
Thrifting, this is like it's gonna go down. I have a list. I got my snacks. I have 4 hours planned where I'm just gonna look through everything. It's like going ice skating and like we're gonna go thrifting today.
Right,
like
right.
it's just an activity, not we have to go to Macy's and buy that thing.
I feel like it's like
It's
she
like not
makes
a chore.
Right.
you make thrifting sound like a montage of like just like going through.
It
like,
is.
like the jitterbug
like
is
that.
playing like jitterbug.
Jitterbug.
For me-
and you just like
Oh my God.
and now
Why
you're
jit-
doing fucking like changing clothes like
Yeah.
It's not.
We should just do a
You
video
make
of
that sound like real dopey though.
no, it's we
we
fucking
love it.
awesome.
Jitter- oh, like
From-
George Michael.
But this is
Yeah.
more from like the Zoolander
I-
when they like go get the frozen.
Oh,
things.
like
yes. But we're thrifting.
But we're thrifting
Okay.
instead.
For me, it's more like freaking Janet escapades playing in the background, and I'm like, I'm on an escapade. Like, so sassy.
I love it.
That's what's up.
I love it. Both of those dynamics are
Right.
so superb.
I know. But then for real, like as that's playing in my head, they're starting playing Mariah Carey, and then I'm like, and then it's a fantasy
See,
because I'm finding the finds.
I was also hearing the Mariah Carey, but for some reason I was hearing the I don't want a lot for Christmas. Like,
Well,
wow, I'm like fucking.
that happens during the Christmas season now. Like they do play that, and I'm like, still Mariah though. Gotta keep her here. Okay.
So your best haul.
Yes, this happened very recently at the Gaithersburg Goodwill store on 355 in Maryland.
Okay.
Yes. I was just perusing the store. In the morning, I go there right when they open at 10 a.m.
Mhm.
because that's when they're usually putting out items, from my experience. So Saturday morning, 10 a.m., I'm getting in the store. I see that new rack of items that they're putting out, and I kind of just went for it.
Right.
It was glittery, it was shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I knew something good had to be on that rack.
Sure.
And my decision, my inkling was correct.
Mhm.
So I found Chanel blazers, Yves Saint Laurent blazers, Givenchy, freaking Celine.
Designers.
Yes, the high end, a
Wow.
mixture of modern and vintage.
Mhm.
So like vintage YSL is very hard to find, very highly sought after, and that rack was full of it, just all of it. And what I did, I picked everything up off the rack, brought it in the dressing room, didn't even fit some of it. I was like, I'm buying you anyway from my closet. So that haul was probably worth like $2,000 or $3,000.
Wow.
A $5 Chanel jumpsuit once.
Mm-hmm.
I found
Oof.
a $27
Obviously,
Louis.
you bought that, right?
Yeah, I buy
Nice.
I buy all of these finds. I found 1960s Emilio Pucci dress that goes for like $500 for like one of their items online that
Wow.
are vintage. Yeah, I've kept everything, all those prized pieces. Yeah.
So it's a collection. Like, you're not getting rid of this stuff. This isn't for profit.
Mm-mm. So when something ever happens to me, or for, I lose all my money all of a sudden, those items I know will have worth. Like,
Sure,
it's like
yeah,
an
that's
investment.
dope. Yeah, I fuck with
That's-
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You always know that you have something that's worth something.
exactly.
What's the hardest part of thrifting for you?
Time. The time that it takes.
It does take a lot of time to like search through, and
Yep.
I'm sure you go out a lot of times too and like don't find shit.
Exactly. So it's like the length of the occasions of going, like 4 hours to sort through everything. Also, like the amount of times I go. I mean, like, while I enjoy it, it's kind of like a thrill. Like, after you go to one good thrift store, you'll go to like 5. Like, I went to 3 this morning before I came here today. I found good stuff.
Oh,
Right.
nice. So you just like took advantage of like being here. Do you live in the city now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I live right near Fort Taunton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Were those in the city?
The ones that I went
Yeah.
to, they're Prince George's County.
Okay.
Like Bladensburg, right across from Eastern.
Ah, so you know where to look for stuff based on like the income of people.
And just like the age of people, like sometimes out there in Bladensburg, there are more older families
Sure.
who are donating as opposed to just an area with just like regular 4-unit, I don't know, like.
You could say
Parents,
here,
kids.
Crossroads, like a lot of college people donate to
Yep.
there.
It's about knowing the neighborhoods, definitely, because there are a few thrift stores in DC, and those are the ones that get picked over because they're the only ones in DC. You got to go out to the suburbs, go out to like Prince George's or in Montgomery County or whatever, Northern Virginia. You go to those spots
Right.
if you want to do good thrifting.
And one more thing before we wrap this up.
That was actually a great lead into my very last question, which is, can you give our listeners some? And I mean, obviously, I don't want you to give away your hot spots that you like are your
course.
golden, places.
I'm not giving
But
away
like,
any secrets.
but where are some places in DC that if you want to go to, or in the surrounding areas,
Sure.
that they can pick up some cool finds?
Totally, and I'll say I am more than happy to share spots because it's not where you thrift, it's how you thrift.
She's saying she's better than you.
No, I know some things about brands that you might not know.
Exactly.
So, and styles. So DC Goodwill of Greater Washington stores, they're all great, but the ones that I usually like to go to are the ones out in Clinton and in Bowie. They're some of the biggest Goodwill stores in the whole area, so they're like really clean and open, well organized. Great finds and good records there. Go Records Supreme. It's awesome. I like those stores. The Gaithersburg Goodwill and the Rockville Goodwill stores are awesome. Along with, there's one on Columbia Pike in Arlington, Virginia. And then the ones out in Alexandria are good too.
Right.
I do love the Veers Mill / Unique.
I'm familiar.
Both the one on University Boulevard and the one on New Hampshire Ave. But go during the weekdays in the morning or in the afternoon. Don't go on weeknights or weekends because that's when everybody's off work.
Right,
Thrifting.
and you're gonna have to fight the crowd.
Exactly.
I feel you.
And there's a slew of thrift stores in Bethesda proper, I think on like Arlington or whatever, Bethesda, Wisconsin. Montgomery County Thrift Store, the Opportunity Shop. I have found vintage Louis there. I found vintage Chanel at those spots. Kate Spade.
Oh my god.
A lot of vintage band tees. They're really tiny, and the area in which they're located, there are a lot of like older, wealthier families who donate stuff. So, money.
Right.
They're great, and they're really cheap, like $2 for like a shirt. Yeah.
Well,
I'm enlightened. This is awesome. Thanks for coming on the show today, Carolyn. Unfortunately, we don't have. I'd love to sit here and just keep fucking talking.
I know,
Actually,
this is,
but
I'm learning so much.
we've
right
gone
now.
on for
And
a
I want
while
vegan
now, and I
burger
don't
right
want to.
now.
I don't want to like cross that threshold into the viewers getting.
kind of, tired out as they get to.
They're probably hungry as hell right now.
Right.
I know.
And ready to shop.
But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, yes, I know I am. I'm like, so excited.
before we go, again, if you want to catch Carolyn, check out her Instagram at petite_punk and DC Vegan Life on Instagram. They're again, go on there, fucking mash the follow button. Shit's fantastic. You're definitely not going to be disappointed. It's cool as hell. I love seeing the shit on my timeline. So it's one of those things that it's just visually stunning to look at. Again, also, Steve, hit him with the promo.
We have, y'all, our hemp kettle tea provided here to us by Tabitha, and this here is the black pepper chai.
It's delicious.
And that is Hemp Kettle Tea Company, y'all.
Shit is
Check
delicious.
them out. The black pepper chai, like I said before, is my favorite.
It's so
Very fucking
spicy.
delicious.
Right,
Little
right.
spice.
It'll clear you out. It's good though.
Clears
Gives
you out,
some-
gets rid of those colds and all whatnot.
Well, Carolyn, thank you again for coming.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you for
It's been
having me.
fantastic.
It has been such a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
I'm trying to make a way. I'm trying to make a way. I'm trying to make a way. I'm trying to make a way.